Look at that bad boy. Wowzers. Straight in the forest, like he was never around. And that's how hard they are to spot. Literally, you just see something a bit different on the road and your eyes get used to it. And then as you approach it, obviously, you think, oh, that is different, I'll slow down. And as you approach it, it's like, bam! Yeah. It's just amazing. This video is sponsored by XL Hosting. If you're looking for a domain name, web hosting, or amazing email, go to xlhosting.uk and sign up today. Morning, folks, and morning from Sweden. And I'm going to come down, I think it's the E45. Yeah, I'm going to come down the middle of Sweden. So, yeah, pretty much we've explored little bits of that in the past on the way over to Norway last year. But most of the time in Sweden, you come up sort of like coastal area to Stockholm, and then coastal area, and then, you know, then the main road up there, the E4. Whereas now I want to try and explore a bit more inland.
Turn right onto E45.
Yet again, driving along, lovely scenery. This one looks like it's a dam, hydroelectric dam. So yeah, anyway, I digress. Toilets. Obviously you got toilet and the latrine, which is, yeah, to empty your toilet cassette. So have a guess what I'm doing? Just approaching the Arctic Circle sign just outside of Jokkmokk. So all this time I've been in the Arctic Circle, and now I'm crossing it on my way south, which means the nights are getting darker. That's good for sleep. The chance of seeing the aurora is still quite high then, because I'm still quite far north, and the nights are getting darker, and it's getting warmer as well. Now the diesel heater on for the last 2 nights, which is, you know, it's good. Considering it's yeah, it's the 17th of August, so you know it's summertime still. So get the stickers out. Might even be cheeky and get the ladder out, because I've not been past this sign before. We did a few last time on our trip, but not this one. So yeah, some stickers up. I guess we're now officially down south. So yeah, the Arctic Circle Place Centre, whatever, at Jokkmokk, is actually a campsite as well. So you can stay there. They got a cafe, they got the usual toilet block, where you can empty your loo and all that kind of stuff, get fresh water. I'm alright for everything like that at the moment. And a campsite, plug in with electric and everything as well. I think it was about 20 secs a night, which is 20 euros, something like that, 20 quid. Roughly, I think so, like that anyway. It is really, really, really remote out here. You can go for like maybe 5-10 kilometres without seeing another vehicle. Definitely not seeing many people unless they've been in vehicles. So one deer. But what I was going to say was it was brilliant to come up to the Arctic Circle sign, and instantly I felt like I was with my mates and stuff like that, because there's a Lost in Europe sticker on there. I had to look around for other people's stickers and that, but I couldn't. But yeah, so seeing Ashbury's sticker there just made me feel like I was with my mates. So yeah, cheered me up a little bit for my day. So this obviously looks like a logger's road. Some of the boulders here though, wow. And a little family of deer as well. But the first thing I need to do is a speed test. Obviously I've got my Garmin and GPS communicator, satellite communicator, so I can get in touch with people if I need to. So that's the first thing, always consider that. And the second thing is make sure I've got a decent speed for the internet, because I'll probably sit here and do some editing. And the other things really I'm looking for as well is something to do, so I can walk up and down here. I can have Coop on his lead. I'm not in anybody's way. I am miles away from the main road now, so it's proper quiet out here. Yeah, leave no trace, enjoy the scenery. I have not passed any signs that say prohibition, blah blah blah, private or anything else like that. Although yes, it does look like a log road, but it does look like a road that's used fairly often, local road sort of thing. So yeah, see how it goes. Oh, what an epic spot this is. I mean, yes, you know I'm driving down the E45 at the moment, which is kind of running along central Sweden, if you like, and just trying to find places to, you know, park up, see what's going on. It's remote, I mean, properly remote. As I said before, sometimes I'm not seeing anybody on the road. I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that. But I'm seeing animals, reindeer to be specific. I've not seen moose yet, but I've seen plenty of reindeer. But I keep kind of like, you know, slowing down every time I see a forest track, scooting up, having a look, see. And this one was definitely appealing in the fact that it looked as if it was not well used, but not hardly used. So I kind of, you know, I don't want to place myself in a stupid situation. I want to go somewhere where I think I can get back out of. So it's got to be a used road, so that it can be driven on safely. Or it's not going to end up in a forest and I can't turn around or anything like that. This one looks like an old logging road that they've then converted into a local road. albeit I've been here now for 5 hours and no one's been past. Well, no vehicles or humans have been past. I have been visited quite a lot of times by the wildlife, mainly deers, and there are a lot of white reindeer as well, like albino reindeer. Didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, and they're big, really big. Yeah, like my kind of height big, and they keep stalking me through the trees. I feel like I'm being watched, and then you just see them moving a bit, like, ooh, wow, yes, I'm being watched. And I tell you what is amazing, obviously I drove through all this landscape and thinking, like, these rocks everywhere, what the heck's going on? There's just like boulders and everything everywhere, but they're in the middle of the forest as well. So here's scale of one of those rocks that's nearly as tall as me, and obviously way bigger than me. Just can't imagine what's moved them around in this forest. Like I say, probably ice flow, part of a glacier or something like that in the past, or floods or something like that. But yeah, I wonder how much of that is below the surface as well. Even in the middle of nowhere, I've got banging signal and I can stream and, you know, have conversations over the phone, do all that kind of stuff, not a problem. Which seems crazy, because if you find a remote location like this in England or Wales or Scotland, chances are you won't get a signal. Even with the gear I've got inside my van, you won't get a signal. But in the middle of Sweden and Finland, Norway, Denmark, you pretty much get a signal anywhere just on your phone without all the extra gear I've got. I've had a few park-ups like this on this trip and previously, and what I can say is no, I am not worried about my safety or Cooper's safety. Obviously got the cameras on the van to make sure that we can see what's going on outside, but yeah, I think you just got to put yourself in nature and just accept that nature's usually all right, and people are usually all right that are otherwise out in nature. See what happens. Found some twigs, just twigs off the floor, so I've not destroyed anything, certainly nothing of value, just twigs that are lying around, so that'll help me get the fire going later. But yeah, views all around here. I am a bit sad to see there's more clouds coming in, and over there it looks like high level clouds too. But yeah, apart from the mozzies, it's all good. So not only has the sun gone behind the clouds, but it's got a bit cold as well, so I've put my extra little padded shirt on. But yeah, getting red alerts again for aurora, but no, not tonight, Josephine, not unless that's going to clear up soon. So just walked Mr. Nobber, he said he's tea, so I have to walk in for a little bit and then get setting the fire up. This is the life. Cheers, everybody. Not cheers to the mozzies who can bugger off. So I've collected just scraps of wood that were around. The more damp are close to the fire, and the drier ones are further away. But yeah, there's no fire ban currently. There's no risk or anything like that of fire. Especially over the last few days, it's been absolutely peeing it down. I mean, if it wasn't for the van, I wouldn't be sitting here and enjoying this like I am now. Yes, you could have, you know, a tent and all that kind of stuff. And yes, you can build a makeshift fire pit from all the stones that are around here. But just the ability that I can build it this way, and that I know I'm not leaving any trace behind, and just generally knowing that, like I say, everything's in my van. It brought me here, it's going to take me away from here, gives me shelter to stay in. It's got everything I need in it. But I was trying to find somewhere. I know we have all those cabins that we found last time where you can, you know, they provide wood to burn and all that kind of stuff, and they're near a lake and everything. And there are many lakes around here, but the lakes themselves are totally inaccessible by vehicle. You can walk there, and I bet all the reindeer go and drink from there. They look crystal clear when I was flying over them. But yeah, this is more of a getting really out there. So, like I say, it's been quite busy at the other locations I've been to, with campers turning up, people turning up. Obviously, it's the time of year for them to use their community areas. But yeah, I just want to do this. Just enjoy the absolute peace and quiet. And there is absolute peace and quiet here. I can absolutely assure you of that. For me, these trips are all about where I can go. The roads that take us around our daily lives are usually fixed. And I like to get off those roads and see if I can explore things that perhaps many others don't, and experience things that many others don't. And I think that's what I'm trying to get across in these videos is, you know, don't copy me. Don't live the way I'm living and do the things I do. Do whatever excites you and keeps you going. Because a lot of people might think I'm a bit strange that I would like to spend time on my own or with a very small amount of people in a setting like this, you know, where there is no one around for miles. But ultimately, that's what pleases me. That's what drives me. No pun intended. But I just like the connection. I like the fact that I'm not just going to tourist places. I'm actually going out in the wilderness and experiencing it. All the wildlife that I've seen for the last few weeks, I wouldn't have seen if I was spending more time around tourist attractions or town centres or... Oh, what was it? I saw a sign for it the other day. The Northern Lights route. Yeah, it's like the NC 500 route all over again. It's just people following a route. But make your own route up. Find your own way and see what works for you. if what works for you is tourist routes, town centres with all the mod con stuff and restaurants and all that, then yeah, that's great. Mandy loves that kind of stuff, and to a point, a little bit at the time, so do I. But for the vast majority of the time, I prefer to be out on my own with Coop, or maybe just a few people, and doing stuff like this. And long may that continue. Something about fire, isn't there? About having a fire, making a fire. Like I say, I brought wood with me in case there was no twigs and stuff like that to find. But like I say, I've found all this just by the forest road. Obviously they've come through here and cleared it all out. I've not chopped anything down. Anything that's big or anything I can perceive to have a bit of value to it, I've not used that. I've just used stuff that was on the floor. Like I say, the damp stuff is now drying and the dry stuff is now burning. And yeah, I love a fire, love a campfire. And the beauty about the solo stove is that you don't get that smell from a normal burning of wood, because the gasifier and everything burns the smoke off. So it means tomorrow when I go and put my clothes on, I might smell a little bit of being outdoors, but that'll be it. This is a good spot though. Seen some wildlife, some reindeer, rabbits. I've seen one car twice, 24 hours between it going this way and then that way. I often think though about the people who built the van, the old owners and stuff like that, whether they ever thought that it would come to places like this, or whether, I mean, I know the old owners used to take it to the south of France and Spain and it'd sit on a campsite for weeks and then they'd just drive it straight back. And I know that when this was built, which is like 7 years ago now, that pretty much that's what motorhomes did. They might go on the odd air in France, but ultimately they'd be looking for electric, water every other day. So ultimately they'd go and sit on a campsite. So I know these days it's very different. You can build your own camper, take you anywhere you want to go if your budget, you know, allows for that kind of stuff. And then there's companies building, you know, proper off-grid motorhomes now. I would love to try one out though. I know there's a few people that I follow on Instagram that have got like the Heimer 4x4s and that. And I'd love to just have a go of one and just to see what it's like. Mine's 2-wheel drive. It was never meant to do anything like this. You know, never meant to be off-grid really as such. There's a huge reliance on power to be provided by an umbilical cord from a campsite or whatever, and gas to heat the van and for cooking and things like that. So it's weird how things have changed in 7 years. Mozzies are out in force tonight. I thought fires are supposed to keep them away. Maybe it's the smoke from the fire. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the solo stove, the little gasifier around the top actually burns the smoke. So it's pretty much smokeless. Which, you know, isn't probably the best thing for trying to keep the mozzies away. So I think while there's still a bit of light, I'm going to end this video now. I'm going to enjoy my whiskey next to the fire for the next few hours and watch the clouds roll in so I can't see the aurora. But yeah, just like to say, if you're not already, please consider subscribing, hitting that subscriber link helps YouTube push our videos out to more people. Hitting the like button helps as well, commenting down below. And yeah, who knows, that might even keep the mosquitoes away. But until the next one, thanks for joining me on this adventure. You guys take care and have great adventures of your own. See you later. Bye.